Before every great journey, there is a beginning, so small, so unremarkable, that we rarely recognize it as a place where everything truly started. For Marcel, the narrator of Swann's world, this beginning lies in a quiet little town called Combray, a place stitched together by soft shadow, warm lamps, rustling gardens, and the gentle ache of waiting for your mother to say goodnight. Close your eyes for a moment. Think of your own childhood back home. The corridors you walked half asleep. The room where nighttime made everything larger. Your fears, your dreams, your longing for a familiar touch. This is where Marcel begins. He lies awake, listening for his mother's footsteps. He does not want her fragrance or her warmth. He wants something much deeper, reassurance that he belongs, that he is safe, that love is near. The simple desire, almost too small to notice, becomes the heartbeat of entire novel. Because Swann's way is about beginnings, the beginnings of memory, the beginnings of longing, the beginnings of strange human truth that everything we feel as adults, our joys, our flaws, our fears, was already quietly living inside us as child. But childhood is only the first half of this volume. The second half opens a different door, one that leads us into the private trembling story of Charles Swann, a family friend whose presence carries the elegance of the world. He is charming, cultured, refined, the kind of man who seems to move through life with effortless grace. Yet, beneath his polished surface lies a story that mirrors the fragility of human heart. He falls for a woman named Odette, not because she is extraordinary, not because she is virtuous, but because something in him wants her to be the answer to the questions he cannot name. Swann builds an entire universe around her, a universe of projections, illusions, stories he tells himself. He becomes a prisoner of his own imagination, jealous even of the shadows she casts. The author shows us something unsettling. We do not fall in love with people. We fall in love with the meaning we attach to them. Swann discovers this too late. His love becomes a labyrinth, one he walks willingly, painfully, and helplessly. Swann's love becomes worship, then obsession, and then a kind of suffering he cannot escape. And the more she slips away, the more he loves her, not because she is lovable, but because loss intensifies desire. The author makes us watch Swann suffer, not to be cruel, but to reveal something almost painfully true. We fall in love with our imagination. We are jealous because of our imagination. We suffer because of our imagination. In this sense, Swann's way is a mirror. It shows us what happens when our hearts chase shadow and call them real. Years later, Swann looks back on his love and says to himself, "To think that I wasted years of my life, that I longed for death for a woman who was not even my type." And in that moment, we understand time changes everything, not only what we feel, but how we see what we felt. This is the secret of Swann's way. The past is not fixed. It transforms each time we remember it. It's disturbing, right? Swann, a man of culture, refinement, and intelligence. Odette is enchanting, mysterious, but, at least at first, not extraordinarily beautiful to him. And yet, he falls in love, hopelessly, against his bitter judgment. Why? Because love is never rational. It's never simple. It's a construction built out of imagination, fear, and longing. Swann becomes obsessed with her. He starts rearranging his life around her, unpredictable routines. He searches for her, suspects her, interrogates his own mind endlessly. His jealousy grows so powerful that it transforms his entire inner world. It carves out a mental labyrinth in which he becomes lost. It's not romantic ideal, but metaphysical suffering. And after years of tormented love, he wakes up one day and realizes, to his shock, that he no longer cares about her. Love, therefore, is not permanent. It is a spell cast by our own mind, and all spells eventually break. After Swann's story closes, we return once more to the narrator. We see him older now, sensitive, imaginative, longing for beauty and meaning. He encounters art, especially the music of sonata, another symbol of memory and awakening. Music becomes a key for Swann. Author believes that art holds emotions we cannot express, and hearing them again reactivates the hidden chambers of our heart. And now the narrator begins to understand that art is not entertainment. It is a way of seeing the world, a way of preserving the fleeting truths that time tries to erase. He begins to sense that and tries to reconstruct his lost time through alchemy of language. Let me share with you the story just the way I would maybe to a little child. Imagine a boy who lives in a small town. He loves his mother very much, and every night he waits for her to come and give him a goodnight kiss. But sometimes grown-ups are busy, and sometimes guests come to the house, and then he has to wait and wait and wait. This waiting makes the boy feel sad and scared, as if love might disappear when it is late. The little boy grows up to become a person telling us the story. One day, when he is older, he takes a bite of a soft little cake, and suddenly all the memories of his childhood comes back to him, brightly and beautifully, like opening a magic box he didn't even know he had. He remembers his home, his long walks with his family, the kind neighbors and strange neighbors, the church that always felt mysterious, and how the whole world looked softer and more magical when he was small. He also remembers a family friend named Charles Swann, and now the story moves to Swann himself. Swann, a clever gentleman who falls in love with a lady named Odette. But he does not fall in love the normal way. At first, he does not even think she's very special. Then he hears a piece of music one evening, a tiny part of violin sonata, and somehow that music gets tied to Odette in his heart. Suddenly, he cannot stop thinking about her. He wants to see her all the time. He wants to know where she is. He wants to know what she's doing, who she's talking to. The more he tries to understand her, the less he understands. Little by little, his love becomes like a big knot, a knot he cannot untangle. Odette is kind sometimes and mysterious other times. She does not always tell the truth. She does not always treat Swann the way he hopes, but Swann can't help himself. He loves her more and more. And the strangest part is, the more he loves her, the more unhappy he becomes. He starts feeling jealous, worried, afraid. Even when Odette is sweet, Swann cannot relax. His imagination keeps making shadows that frighten him. He loves his idea of Odette even more than the real Odette. Finally, after many painful days and nights, Swann realizes something very important. Sometimes, love isn't about the other person. Sometimes, it's about the picture we paint of them inside our own hearts. His love fades slowly, like a dream you cannot forget after waking up. And the little boy, now is a grown-up man, tells us the whole story to explain how strange the heart can be, and how small things, even simple things, can carry the whole world of memory. At the end of the book, he understands something new. A smell, a sound, a taste can make us remember our whole lives, and remembering is the first step in understanding who we are. In one line, it is the story of a child discovering memory, of a man named Swann discovering how love can confuse the heart, all connected by the magic of remembering. The central part of the volume, Swann in Love, is a case study in desire, a psychological dissection of how love operates. This aligns with philosophical ideas from Schopenhauer. Desire is illusion, Nietzsche's projection and self-deception, and Freud's repetition compulsion and erotic fixation. Swann's tragedy reveals that love is constructed, not discovered. Through Swann's interaction with the aristocratic society, Proust offers a sharp critique of social hierarchies. He exposes the fragility of prestige, the hypocrisy of salon culture, the performative nature of class identity, the way taste is shaped by social belonging, not intrinsic value. Swann, in Love, shows that society is a theatre and identity is a role performed for acceptance. It is a story of childhood, a tragic love, and the birth of an artistic mind. But more importantly, it is the foundation of a philosophical universe that argues that life becomes clear only when remembered, and memory becomes meaningful only when shaped into art. Sometimes we think we fall in love with a person, but really we fall in love with a picture we painted in the dark, a gentle outline of hope, a silhouette of what we wished to receive. Swann's love for Odette is not because she was the answer, but because she fit the shape of his longing. And we too, we often love the echo of our own imagination, the meaning we attach to a voice, a smile, a moment that felt like refuge. But illusions have soft edges. They crumble, the real person steps forward. When the truth no longer matches the story we whispered to ourselves. And it hurts. It hurts in a way that feels like breaking, but is in truth a kind of awakening. Because love is not always the presence of beauty. Sometimes love is simply the mirror that shows us that we needed to learn. The truth is that we were never in love with them. We were in love with the possibility, the version of ourselves we imagined beside them, the dream we mistook for identity and destiny. But once the illusion dissolves, we reclaim something precious, our sight, our worth, our quiet understanding that the heart isn't foolish, only hopeful. And hope, even when misguided, is never a mistake. It is only the beginning of seeing clearly. You know, sometimes I think love is not a person at all. It's a story we whisper to ourselves in the quiet corners of our mind. When I look back now, I realize I did not love him. I loved an idea, a soft, shimmering shape my imagination painted in the air. I filled his silences with poetry, his indifference with meanings he never intended, his absence with promises he never made. And just like Swann, I convinced myself that longing was proof of love, that suffering was depth, that anxiety meant something sacred was unfolding. But really, it was just me standing alone, mistaking my own echo and someone else's voice. It's strange, isn't it? How easily affection becomes illusion. How we wear our hopes like glasses and suddenly the wrong person looks almost right. We think we are falling for them, but we are really falling into the well of our own yearnings. And when they finally show their real face, when the illusion cracks, there's pain, yes, deep private pain, but also a kind of liberation, a soft awakening. Because the truth is that love does not break us, illusion does. And once the illusion dissolves, once the dream stops pretending to be a person, we see ourselves again, clearer, steadier, more whole than before. So here's what I've learned. We do not heal when someone returns our love. We heal when we return to ourselves. And maybe that's the quiet gift hidden inside every heartbreak. The discovery that the love we lost, or maybe we thought was ours, was actually waiting within us all along. As I step out of this first volume, I want this thought to linger with you. How much of what you remember is true, and how much is simply the version you needed to survive? What if the memories you cherish or the loves you once suffered for are not what they seemed at all? What if your past is different from the version you have been carrying. And finally, if memory is the key to who we are, how much of yourself have you forgotten?